What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. This is what we're gonna talk about today, man. I gotta talk to my young people. I gotta talk to, you know what? Gotta talk to some of my older people too, because some people are still out here getting it. But we gotta understand that crime is a business, and I ain't talking about criminal activity going on in the street, criminal acts, criminal organizations. You know, we know that there's organized crime. We know that there are people out in the streets who run their crime operations like a business. I ain't talking about that side of it. I'm talking about the other side of it, the side of it that leads to you being locked up for a long, long time behind you trying to run your thing like a business. Um, I read somewhere where prisons make like billions of dollars a year. Prisons generate billions and billions and dollars per year just off of that whole operation, that whole prison industrial complex. So it's indeed a profitable industry, and everybody seems to benefit from it except for the the actual people who get caught up because of the crimes that they commit. So you have, of course, you have judges who live very well off of crime. You have lawyers who live very well off of crime in a lot of cases. You have prison workers. You have police officers. You have all of these different categories of individuals who profit off of criminal activity. And my thing is, if somebody was to tell you that if somebody had a door open, and I'm talking to my people that's out in the streets doing, committing crime and participating in that, if somebody had an open door and they were telling you, hey man, come on, come inside this door, come inside this door, and you were able to peek before you walked in and you saw that what was going on inside that door was not something you wanted to be a part of. It's going to mess you up if you go inside that door. If you knew that coming in, would you still walk through that door? This is the thing we want to impart over to our young brothers and sisters out in these streets, is that we got to gain the knowledge and the understanding of what this whole system is set up to do and what this whole system is set up to lead you into, to continue to make profit off of our ignorance. And so if you knew that, hey man, this is a designed structure to lock you up, to create um, societal circumstances that will lead you to say, hey man, I got to get out here and get it. I got to get out here and survive. I got to make some money, man. I got to go rob. I got to go steal. I got to go sell dope. I got to go prostitute. I got to do whatever it is I got to do to make some money to survive. If you understood that this is not accidental and you understood the consequences of where it's going to land you, where you're going to end up, would you still do it? Or should you still do it? You know, some people will say, well, you know, man, I understand the risk, man, but my family, you know, I got to make something happen. I got to make something shake because my mama need this, my family need this. Some people do understand the risk, but there are many young people who kind of get caught up in that world and they're in the moment and they don't really understand how big this thing is. So there are different effects that this has on your life once you get into that system. The first thing, you lose your freedom. You lose your freedom. You're no longer able to move as a free human being. You're no longer able to come and go as you please. And the second thing is you are now subjected to subhuman conditions. The prisons, they don't have any type of structure in terms of not allowing these inhumane conditions to exist. So now you're getting thrown to the wolves, man. You're getting thrown in with the lions, and in a lot of cases, you become worse after going to prison than you were for whatever it is, whatever little crime you may have committed. you become worse. Because it's an animalistic type of environment that they cultivate. They allow that environment to exist, and it doesn't matter if you're 18. It doesn't matter if you're 28. You know, young people get thrown in with that same pack, man, the same pack, and in this just inhumane. Now you lose your time because depending on what you did, you know, you may get 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, life, all behind either a mistake you made or something that you intentionally did and you didn't see it being this extreme down the line. Or in some cases when you didn't do anything at all. But you also lose your future. You lose your future because if you are lucky enough, or if I would say you are blessed enough to get out, now the fact that you have that label on you makes it very difficult, and in some cases almost impossible, for you to reestablish yourself in society if you are a person who has the desire to want to do that. Man, I want to get back out here. I want to, change my life, man. I got to give me a job. They make it almost impossible for you to do that. So there are so many cons, so many negatives that exist that point to why you shouldn't allow yourself to fall for it. And I say fall for it because it's absolutely a trick. It's a trick, man. It's a trick to get us to contribute to their profit. Like I said, they make billions and billions of dollars off of our ignorance. So to my young people, man, it's better to just be what they call a square. It's better to just have a regular job. It's better to figure it out in a different kind of way than to be out here taking what we used to call and still call them penitentiary chances. That's where that term comes from. It's like, man, these boys out here taking penitentiary chances because the things that you're doing, if caught, will lead you straight to the pen, would lead you to be locked up. And even workers that work in the prison, you're only making a few cents a day. You're only making 30, 40, 50, 80, 90 cents a day for your labor. And now you're doing that and have no say so in the matter. You ain't got a choice no more now. Where you could have been at least out in the free world working at Hobby Lobby or something and making something, making something that's legal and something that you don't have to look over your shoulders to until you can find your bigger purpose to where you can do whatever it is you were born to do, whatever it is that God created you to do. So now you're giving away that time, that labor, and you generating crumbs for yourself, but you're generating millions and billions for them. What kind of business sense do that make? If somebody sat you down and laid all that out to you beforehand, would you sign off on that? Would you go for that? See? So we can't get caught up in following behind what we hear in rap music, what we see on TV, what we see our friends doing, um, even if it's looking good. Because there are a lot of people who have been out here and have shown the appearance to have successfully navigated through the criminal world, through the criminal realm, and they doing all right. It's like, man, he doing good. That's what draws a lot of us in, because we'll see one of our homeboys and like, man, it's working for him. And I'm still out here getting these crumbs working at this warehouse. But it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Because even those cats, at some point, it all come crumbling down. I've known many of them in my lifetime, and all of them, at some point, they lose it. They lose it all, and none of them got that money no more. So to get caught in that moment, in that visual, just seeing that, man, look at that car, and they laughing at you. They looking at you because you got on a little work uniform or something. Nah, you gotta stay the course, man. Just stay the course, because you'll get the news one day whether you get the news being out in the street or whether if it's big enough, whether you see it on the news, you'll see what happens to brothers or sisters who get caught up in that lifestyle. And there's no situation in place by this system to change it because they formulated it in the first place. They're not making any efforts to change it because that is actually producing the result that they set it out to produce. So don't be fooled. See? So when you see all these people come out talking about, we're gonna be tough on crime, we're gonna crack down on criminal activity. Yeah, they are. That's exactly what they're gonna do. But who are they talking about cracking down on? Who are they talking to? And what's going to be the move? The move is going to be more people getting incarcerated, stiffer penalties for certain crimes. We've already seen that. If you go back to the disparity in terms of how crime was approached when it comes to black people with crack cocaine versus white people with powder cocaine, and you get all this time for having crack, for a little bit of crack, and they don't get hardly any time for having a whole lot of powder. You're already seeing the disproportion and the disparity. So there'll be many other things that they start to crack down on, and they'll start to issue out stiffer sentences based on that. So really, man, if I walk up to any one of y'all and ask y'all, if you do you think you smart? Do you think you got some game? Do you think you know these streets? Do you think you know the system? Can anybody trick you? You're going to say no. You're going to say that you smoother than that you smarter than that. You're going to say no. Well, this is your opportunity to prove it. Because we've heard too many times, and if you never heard it, you're hearing it now, that this is a setup. So if you're smart, you're not going to fall for the setup. You're not going to fall for the trick. Because nobody's going to benefit. You're going to put your family in a bad situation financially because they got to try to figure out how to pay these lawyers to try to get you off for something that you actually did. You got your mama stressed out and stretched out financially. Send you money now. We got to go through all this stuff, man. Because you was trying to get it too quick and get it the wrong way. So think about that, man. Don't let nobody pimp you and make all this money off of you, and they don't care anything about you, and you lose it all, and they gain it all. They're living in mansions and big houses and putting their children through college, and judges walking around here like they're so prestigious, politicians who passing the laws, and all the lawmakers, they walking around here like they so. Nah, don't fall for that. Alright, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. Y'all leave a comment below. Tell me what y'all think about this comment. Anything I might have forgot or didn't mention or slipped on, feel free to jump in the comment section, man, and subscribe to the channel. And always hit that bell so you can know when I post a new video. Alright, man, I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.